Zheng's secret.
Very good afternoon to everyone present in the hall. Alright. First of all, before I would like to begin my presentation, I'd like to ask you all, are you all fans of Star Wars? Star Trek? Well, if you are a fan of science fiction, you're going to love this, especially I love this. Right? Okay guys, right here, you're looking at wormhole in Times Square. So let me just explain some stuff to you people. Right. Space travel. First of all, there are only two ways to space travel. One, through a wormhole, and another, possibly, spacewalk. So we're going to have this spacewalk today. Okay, so, yeah, Einstein said this once. If you're racing light in a fair race, there's no way you can win it. But what if you take a shortcut and you can win it? So, like I said earlier, there's two ways of space travel: loopholes, aka wormholes, and spacewalk. So, spacewalk, how does it work? It works like this, simple. When it shuttles in space, the galaxy in front of it will contract and expand behind it. Simple. So that's basically my summary of spacewalk. What you're looking right here right now is possibly how the spacewalk will function. You see that rugby ball-ish thing? Well, that's going to be the spaceship with its robotics and whatnot. And its ring, well, that's going to be it's going to be the spacewalk thing, which has a lot of negative energy, which will allow it for space travel. Yes, this is a possible diagram for near future, where this is how the spaceship is going to look. Right, this one. As I mentioned earlier, the universe contracts in the front and expands at the back. And this is known as the warp bubble. This is how it looks like, and this is how it comes. What would it be like to travel at the speed of light? So basically, you would like, it's like you are going the same initial velocity, but it's just that it's going to feel like you're watching a film fast forward motion. Yeah. Now this is a real important part of our. So basically, you see, right here over there, it says that spacewalk requires a lot of energy. Yes, it's true. But most of us didn't realize something. If we haven't created a spacewalk portal right outside of Earth and fly towards Alpha Centauri, then we're going to have a problem. Why? Because we won't have enough energy to travel back to Earth. That's why we decided to use this negative energy to power a wormhole, keep it open, so that we can travel to another galaxy and use spacewalk technology to return back home to Earth. That way it's a win-win situation. Like I said earlier, the wormhole, but basically this is how a wormhole looks like. See its throat, the blue color indicator. Basically in normal wormholes, they'll just collapse. And when you're in it and it collapses, you can die. Or possibly get lost in different dimension. So the reason why I'm placing negative energy there is because negative energy is a gravity repellent. So meaning it keeps control from the wormhole open. And signals can pass through the wormhole, and therefore you can know which galaxy or what solar system you're going to go at. So yeah, we're pretty much making this a reality. This has been proven in laboratories. So I believe in the future, more technologies and whatnot, this will become reality. So yeah, we will fly to Alpha Centauri when we get the right resources and equipment. And yeah, basically this discovery will help us enhance our knowledge about the universe and allow us to travel in intergalactic space. And this product will make the world a better place because we can go to different galaxies, different planets, study them, meet new life forms at such stage. And yeah, it's going to make the world a really better place. And it's going to be fun. Our target market will be the government and NASA. Finally, we will get the fundings from the DSC for research and technology. Thank you.
Okay, short and sweet. Okay, just clarifying question. What's your product?
Okay, our product, that's the question, sorry. Alright, our product is going to be that spacewalk thing. Basically, okay, if you are going to make an engine to fly to Alpha Centauri, it's going to take approximately 4.6k years. So we're going to make this portal filled with negative energy. Negative energy, let me just clarify with you. It's basically a vacuum in space where it squeezes all the positive energy out of it, which makes the density in space go to negative, and therefore you get negative energy. This is where we go against space-time and whatnot, and therefore this energy we can.
Okay, so your product is the warp. It's not an engine.
It's pretty much something like an engine because like mission is to travel to.
Okay, alright.
Just one question. For the funding, you mentioned $50,000. Is that enough? Why 50,000? Why not more? Why not less? There's no justification.
That's just the initial funding for the experiment because apparently for technology, powers, and whatnot.
Where did you get the number?
Visa. Sure.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Okay, just as an overall, I think you are very comfortable with the subject matter. Well, the rest of your guys and girls are just hanging around there. Is this gentleman in tracksuit going to speak at all? No? Okay, no, because he kept on hovering in and hovering out. It's like it's like a phantom, So we caught expecting you to pass the mic to him, and so then he hovers back. It's like a presence, you cannot see. No, it's actually an observation because in the presentation, one of the things that you need to be conscious about is that his presence distracts the audience, and we're looking at him and sometimes we miss what you're saying. But I think what I like about your presentation is that you are very comfortable with it. The product, I have a question mark, all right, because it's a really strange product. It's not an engine. Can you clarify again exactly what is the product? Okay, so can you do it in another way? I give you money. What are you going to do with that money, and what are you going to do with it? Maybe easier that way.
There's one episode in Star Wars. Okay, see, there's this one particular ring, okay, where the spaceship enters. Okay, and when it enters, it goes on hyperspace, hyperlaunch. Yeah. So when it does that, it can actually travel to different galaxies within like a blink of an eye. Okay. So we are actually constructing a ring. So like I showed you the spaceship just now.
Yeah. All right.
This spaceship. Right. You saw the circular.
That's right. That's a ring. Okay, let's say.
That's the thing. That's more or less the engine required for a hyperdrive.
Okay. So it's like a portal.
You could see it's a portal, but more or less it's still pursuing space.
Okay. So again, coming back to the commercial side of it, all right, let's say you get the funding, you build this. How does the investor, what's in it for the investor? Where's the commercial aspect of it? I know the science is there, right? But where's the commercial aspect of it? What do investors make out of this investment?
Well, basically, like, it's well known in probably after galaxies like Alpha Centauri and directly something planets, which have the resources that have the Earth, whereas they have more than we have the Earth. So therefore, they go there, they can harvest these resources and basically sell them.
Okay, I think because you were very efficient in your presentation, which actually means that you finished your presentation, right? And what I think was missing was that commercial side. See, when I ask you, you have some idea, but the challenge of this module, I suppose, is that you need to be very clearly stating, you give me this, I give you that, this is how you make money, because that's what investors do, and I think that's the part that's missing here. Yeah? Okay, otherwise, yeah, don't know what the other guys are there, but okay, good job.
now continue with Corp by Junior 1.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the CEO of this company, and my name is Karke. So the prediction we have chosen to do is scientists will map the quadratic connections between the brain's neurons. So we chose this because we are interested in this topic, and we think the brain is very complex, and we should learn how to understand it. So I'll pass the mic to Daniel to talk about how it works.
Okay, so just to clarify before this begins, the product that we are marketing is the actual map of the connections. It's like as information that can be given to hospitals and such for human research. So what is a connectome? A connectome is a map of the human brain and its neurons and how they're connected to each other. So it's basically like your DNA but for your brain. Okay. So the researchers from this project called the Human Connectome Project at University of California, Los Angeles, they have used data from brain scanners at the Massachusetts General Hospital, and this data has been used to map the connections between the brain's neurons. And investigations of methods to create a coordinate system that is using the three principal axes, X, Y, and Z, in order to create a kind of 3D diagram of the brain. They are being investigated right now. So yeah, here are just a few pictures from the Human Connectome Project. It's quite colorful, as you can see. They show the different parts of the brain and the connections are the lines. Next slide. Okay. So they have conducted trials on healthy volunteers using state-of-the-art diffusion imaging scanners. Now what this does is it tracks the movement of water molecules through the brain fibers. So as you can see in this picture below, that's the images from the diffusion scanner. So they use this method to track how the water goes through the brain, and thus they've been using this to track the connections between the neurons in the brain. And they've been building up three-dimensional maps of neurons taken from the retinae of dead mice as well. So they're still at the testing stage for rats and mice, so they haven't gotten to humans yet. But the hope of this project is to eventually map the entire human brain. Okay, so besides this diffusion imaging scanner, there are two other primary methods. One is called the brain probe. This is where every single neuron in the brain is marked with a separate color in order to help track the neurons and the connections. And this allows us to generate an image of the brain. Another way is the automatic tape collecting ultramicroscope. A microscope is a laboratory instrument that is used to cut, that can be used to cut organic materials. So they use this in order to cut the brain up and inspect different neurons and connections. Obviously, this can't be conducted on live specimens or live humans. But the primary method that our company will be endorsing is this diffusion brain scanner. So as you can see over here, on the left is the rainbow, where different colors have been used to mark the neurons. And on the right, it's the ultramicrotome. It's the instrument used to cut the brain. Next slide. I'll now pass the microphone to Ashley to explain how this product will be beneficial for humans.
Hello, my name is Ashley. I'm going to be talking about how the prediction will help make the world a better place. So the connector, which is the map of the brain, will help researchers and neurologists have a better understanding of how of the neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, autism, Parkinson's disease, and the schizophrenia. And because there will be a better understanding of these diseases, it will be easier for neurologists to find a better and simpler ways to cure these brain diseases. For example, neurologists can compare the brain scans of healthy patients with the brain scans of patients who have neurodegenerative diseases, so they can pinpoint exactly when the brain is malfunctioning and they can fix that exact spot. And also it will show how humans adapt to situations and how the brain links neurons to carry this out. Next slide. So this is Sebastian Zheng. He's an example of a person who believes that the differences between the people are down to differences in neural connections.
I'm going to be talking about who will be buying this stuff. This will be our target market. So we have two target markets. First one is researchers with an interest of using human imaging data for studying a connector. And the second one is for medical hospitals, because neurosurgeons can use the discovery to plan safer brain surgery.
All right, I'll be elaborating about how will your company be raising funds to research and produce this. The Human Connectivity Project will be, it's sponsored by the National Institute. Is that it? Okay.
No, that's fine. We'll probably ask you the same question.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Okay, you know what? I actually don't have anything that I want to clarify.
That was a very good job. Just one thing, when it comes to your funding, since that you don't have enough time, now can you elaborate on it, Samira? Tell us how would it be funded?
It's pretty clear on the slide though. Okay, it's funded by National Institutes of Health, and in 2010 they have awarded 2 grants, which is $30 million for 5 years and $8.5 million for 3 years. And yeah, this will contribute to the scientific research.
And may I ask why those numbers? Where did you get the numbers? Do you have any specification on exactly why 8.5 million?
Well, this is through research. Like from the research that we got, they do provide these 2 grants of this specific in the U.S. For these specific amounts. So it's based on our research that we have this information.
And why do you think, or how do you think that would be your entitlement to get that fund and not other companies like you? How is it possible that you, I mean, what would give you the entitlement of these loans, of these fundings, and not companies like you? Why would they give this funding to you? Convince us.
Yeah, the Human Connectivity Project started because of them, and that's why.
At the same time, the money that they've granted is to several different institutes of research, so it's shared among these different institutes who are working together to contribute to this collective project, the Human Connectivity Project. So it's a big group of scientists all working together, so it's not really like why should one group get the money over another. It's actually they're all working together with the same funds to get this project going.
Thank you.
Okay, on the overall, I think this is really, really well done, right? So well done to you guys. I think each of you individually are quite comfortable with the topic. I like the fact that you as a group actually listen to the comments of all the previous groups, because one of the things that you said right up front is, let me be clear, this is our product. I actually like that, all right, because I think it's not that you said it, right, but the fact that you actually were conscious of what the other groups were presenting and what was the common failure of many of the groups in the sense that they weren't very clear what the product was. And I think you made the decision. I don't think this was how you presented it originally, right? So I think it's good that you're able to modify and say, hey, hang on, we're feeling what's happening here, and we're coming up and we're going to say, okay, look, if it's not clear, we're going to make it clear. And to me, it's crystal clear that you're selling a map, right? It's really crystal clear that you actually understand what goes on and the different techniques that are involved in the mapping. It was really, really clear to me who are your target market, right? And you correctly narrowed it down just to 2 researchers, and actually the one that I think has more money to it is the second one, because I think I can see hospitals willing to pay for this because they will in turn charge clients for better and more effective operations, right? The funding, yeah, I think all said and done, your response was a good one. I actually only had one tiny little comment for this, what I thought was a really good presentation. You need to figure out what to do with your left arm when you're presenting. Okay, somehow it shows a little bit of nervousness or something, and you've got your left arm up like Napoleon. Yeah, I think it's only you, so just be conscious of that. But really, I thought it was very clear, short, sweet, and concise. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next group will be Red from Form 4.
The neural signals responsible for appetite control. This chip involves an intelligent implantable modulator. Just a few millimeters across, which is attached using cuff electrodes to the vagus nerve within the peritoneal cavity found in the abdomen. The chip and cuffs are designed to read and process electrical and chemical signatures of appetite within the nerve. The chip can then act upon these readings and send electrical signals to the brain, reducing or stopping the urge to eat. Alright, now, what are the benefits of this chip? Next slide, please. Alright, it reduces the risk of coronary artery disease. It reduces the risk of stroke and other cardiovascular diseases. It develops a strong and healthy mind, and it reduces the risk of developing kidney stones. So yeah, I would like to pass the mic to my friend.
How does this help the society? By using this technology discovered, people will then know what type of food and nutrients they need for their body on a daily basis. Therefore, this increases their eating habit from junk food to good food. And our market size will be women all around the world, working men, mostly people who are facing obesity, and people with eating problems. Our sponsors will be from the government, health department. For example, like they can buy our Discover. They can buy this product, then they can process it, and sell it back to the public where they can earn profit and okay, now I'll pass the mic to
Hello. Okay, so how does it work? It's actually a pill that has a small microchip attached to it. And when you once swallowed, your stomach fluids activate the chip, so it sticks and it transfers information to the patch you are wearing. And through the patch, it decodes the information and sends it to your phone. So, yeah. This is how the chip will look like. And the patch. What are the chips made of? It is made of food ingredients. It is edible and it activates after swallowing.
so the microchip will act as a guide or monitor for the person to be alert in what they are consuming every day. So the amount of food, energy, or nutrients needed for the body will be recorded and stated. Therefore, this can control the person's diet in whether they need more protein or carbohydrate or stuff like that. Yeah, and then they can have a healthy and a balanced diet. Thank you.
Okay, just two clarifying questions. First one, something that you mentioned, the chip is edible. Can you explain what you mean by the chip is edible? I don't know whether, yeah, you mentioned the chip is edible, but what does that actually mean?
It can be swallowed.
Yeah, it's not edible, I can't read it now, right? Okay, so I'm just trying to clarify. Okay, the second thing I wanted to clarify is the actual science behind it, right? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. What I understand you saying is that this is your solution or your product is something that you swallow, it sticks to your stomach wall, it interacts with a patch, and it sends information to your phone. Is that correct? And then, based on the information that is sent, you make decisions. Correct? So it is not a solution which it goes to your brain to tell you to do something or not to do something. Different, right? Okay, all right. Okay, we don't really have much questions. I just have one clarifying comment again at the end, your target market, all right? Can you explain again, because you seem to be trying to sell to the government, and what do you expect the government to do with it?
The government maybe like create an organization that helps these people to slim down.
Okay, the challenge that I think you have is that last part is probably difficult because you're asking money from investors. You're asking money from investors to finance the project, which you're going to sell to the government, right? And you're not really able to be convincing us how the government would, why would the government buy this from you? You know, I think if you meant to say that you're going to get your money from the government to finance this project, that may be a different matter. Huh? But just so that there's no confusion, in this presentation, you're supposed to be asking us for money. So if we give you money and then the government buys it, but we don't really see why the government want to buy this to give it to people. Yeah, I'm saying. So you need to think about that part of it. You might have better target market to sell to hospitals, pharmaceuticals, and stuff like that. Probably not the government in this case, all right? Okay, but that's quite decent. Thanks.
Thank you.
secret from Form 5.
Good afternoon to everyone present in the hall. Today we'll talk about how Sabah chips will monitor your diet to help you lose weight. Okay, first of all, you start a diet, you lose 30 pounds, reach a plateau, and then you gain 40 pounds back. So after the diet, you gain weight. This is a typical pattern of a serial dieter. So these people seek help from diet industries. Now diet industries are very, very big and they earn billions and billions of dollars through gimmicks, through scams, through fake diet pills, fake programs, and what I'm trying to get to is that people would pay billions and billions of dollars for unguaranteed results. Now I am here today with my group, Eugene's Secret, to tell you that we have reached groundbreaking results from our experiments showing that it is possible for us to create a product that can guarantee permanent weight loss for all of you. Enjoy the movie.
Okay, so in case that y'all didn't hear what she said, there's now a company called In-House. They are currently developing a device called In-House that's like you need to like do a minimal surgery to put it in that's connected to the electrodes that's fixed on the stomach walls. So in this way, the electric pulses will be sent to your brain that they will tell you that your stomach is full. So this process doesn't involve any injection of hormones or any other kind of substance. And the risk, there's no risk. It's totally safe and it's totally reversible. Thank you.
Our target market is creating a national health and mobility survey from a cohort finding state that number of Malaysian adults with diabetes has also increased from 14.9% in 2006 to 15.2% in 2011. It was also reported that over 2.6 million adults were obese, while over 477,000 children below the age of 18
these are the fundraiser or to raise funds to. Thank you.
Okay, two quick questions. First one, this is a surgery. This involves a surgery, right? So you're going to do a minor surgery, implant something in there, right? And the question that I have is, how does what you implant actually control what it tells your brain?
It sends an electrical impulse which stimulates muscle walls of the stomach, and it does not secrete any external hormones.
Okay.
But it will tweak, it somehow affects our hypothalamus and it affects natural hormones for us to either feel that we're full or we.
I understand, but what I'm saying is that how does it trigger? It's like, okay, now I haven't eaten, all right, and it's breakfast time, for example, right, and I've got this device or chip inside me, and so I see breakfast there, and I want to eat breakfast. So what I'm not clear about is, how does this send a message to your brain that you're already full? At what stage? What triggers it? You know what I'm saying?
When it reaches a certain
yeah, what's that thing? And that's the thing that's the science part of it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm not clear about. So that's one thing you should know. Other than that, like I said, the second clarification that I have is that you basically have cited that this company doing this, right? So what is your company doing? Same product, identical product?
my CEO says that we're improving it.
Sorry, you're improving it. Okay.
Same functions, but
We are doing the same kind of device, but it's going to be an improved device, like better pulse sendings and more engines.
Okay, I think that's where you need to be very clear, all right, in your presentation, not in a Q&A, because what we're seeing is that, yes, there's this company doing this product, and then we go like, yeah, so what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So you need to be clear, all right, I'll pass on.
And just to follow up, when you're doing your research, understand something that when we want to eat food, it is more than just physical, it's also mental, right? When you see the food, that itself stimulates, right? So you need to find out how actually the device works when you are stimulated to eat. Do you understand? Have you seen anything like that while you were doing your research? Thank you.
Okay, I have a very interesting overall comment that I want to make, all right? From a commercial point of view, or commercialization point of view, the first 3 minutes opening that you did was just brilliant, okay? I think if anyone in this hall, you really want to understand the business side of it, that's what you do. It's really spot on. You come up there, you talk about exactly what you said. This is the market. People are spending millions of dollars. Of course, it'd be nice if you had some sauce. But otherwise, millions of dollars are spent on unproven results. Bang! That is what investors go like, yes, that's what I want to hear. Unfortunately, it just went downhill after that from a science point of view. So it's a really interesting presentation because the business side at the beginning was extremely good. Extremely good. That's really well done. but the science and how it works, and after that it just diminished. It wasn't strong enough, right? So what you guys need to know is that you need to match the science side and the research side to the front, and then you've got something really brilliant. But that was really good. So, you know, for everyone in this hall, that takes so much trouble explaining the science of it, and you can't figure out the business side of it. That's really what you need to do. Okay, so well done to the first 3 minutes. Best 3 minutes of all. All right, thanks.
The next group will be the stolen blue box for the Form 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're from the Stolen Blue Box from Mall. Before we really start our slide, can I ask you a question? Has anyone of you watched Iron Man? The Matrix? Yeah. Do you know that all the movies are related to the hooking up of the brain to a computer system where the human can experience a virtual world? What is a virtual world? A virtual world is an abstract, visualized representation of a computer network interface that may or may not correspond directly to the physical network interface. As you can see from the slide, there's a helmet light in that's the interface of our product. Right. It's called a whole brain emulation. It's known as the mind uploading. It transfers mind from the brain to a non-biological substrate. Scan the brain and transfer the information into a system or a device.
This will be what they call, how to put this, interface from human to human. So the researchers at the University of Washington has already started a research on this, which they use the internet as the main medium to let humans to control
people to experience, to feel, and to understand things and scenario without going through them in real life. This allows people to learn things differently. And also allow people to forget or even escape the problem they have in real life for the problem they are facing in real life for a temporary while. This will change the society and how they work on things.
Our target markets are schools, hospitals, gaming companies, old folks' home, and disabled people. In hospital, hospitalized people can interact socially with fictional or non-fictional characters, not physically, without being there. And in school, students can study history in a more interesting way.
For financial support, we're going to depend on government and the gaming companies. Government will want to improve the lifestyle of the citizens, and gaming companies will want to offer players a brand new experience. Thank you.
Okay, just to clarify one question, your device that you're selling is that helmet-looking thing, right? Is that right?
Yes.
I didn't see any numbers on the funding. How much money is needed for the project?
Funding for our project is roughly $50 million.
$50 million. Why? How did you come up with that number?
Pardon?
How did you come up with that number? Why $50 million?
It's based on our research.
Where would the technology come from?
It will be improved from the current technology with more,
Thank you.
Can you just confirm where you would get the 50 million from, the proposals? To finance the project?
The researchers at Washington University used approximately that much, so
But the question I'm asking is, well, who would finance that for your group?
sorry, from the government and gaming.
Just to ask, how do you benefit, the product benefit the old folks? Can you explain further on that?
Because old folks tend to have nothing to do after they retire, so they might want to go back to when they were young or have another life how they stuck it out. So they might want to use it, or some old folks are quite disabled too.
Okay, just my own overall view. I think what is good about that last bit of your presentation was that I feel for this topic you are a little bit clearer than maybe some of the other groups as to how this benefits and who uses it. So that's quite well done. There's one slide there with the 4 portions, right? I think that's quite well done. In terms of the choice of the video that you've used, I think that's it really does show what this sort of application can do. So I think that's quite good. The only thing that I feel that maybe you need to improve is, again, your comfort level with what you're presenting. I think there's still a fair bit of reading as opposed to standing out there and talking about something, and being able to show that this is what the technology is and all that.
The thing is, this was one of the best in terms of content. It was very well prepared. However, when it comes to delivery, it was very weak. I think you should have ordered your speakers differently, if you know what I mean. Okay? Always start with your strongest speaker to make sure that you get your audience, And then, when it comes to the research and when it comes to the funding, of course, you can swap between speakers. Okay, so that's one thing that could have improved your mark. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Good content.
The last group for today is Daniel's Secret.
Alright, good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon everyone. My name is Daniel, and our group name is called Daniel's Secret. And today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to build our own homes. So that's our topic for today. Alright, so the resolution that we would like to achieve is actually for us to be able to grow our own homes. Now the thing is, the population of the world is increasing rapidly. Especially in poorer countries, in third world countries, there's not enough homes to inhabit all the people. So we are trying to think of a way for us, humans, to be able to build our own homes instead of relying on construction workers and all that. It's going to be cheap, it's going to be time to save, it's going to save time, it's going to be very economical as well. Now, so the question is, how do we grow our own homes? The method that we're going to use, that we are planning to use, is actually called the Fab Tree Hack. We're going to explain to you guys exactly what the Fab Tree Hack is all about. But if you guys can see in the pictures above, it's basically growing a home out of trees. So the trees, we have trees all over the world. So we're going to build our homes around the tree. So we're going to explain to you more on that. Okay, the procedure is this. So basically, we're going to allow plants to grow over a computer-designed computer numerical control that's removal of plywood scaffold. So what we do is we design the base of the house using plywood, and this plywood is actually removable and reusable. So once we design the base of it, we're going to let the plants to inclinate the branches of it to move to make the house. And once the house is already been made, we're going to remove the plywood so that we can use it. The plants that we're going to use to make this house is actually woody plants that can grow quickly. And we're going to use solution that we're still trying to research to develop an interwoven roof structure that's soft enough to build over, but also hard enough to be durable. This is basically the artist's impression of how the home that we're planning to build look like. So we have the interwoven branches that will be the one that's encompassing the house. We have the house right in the middle and the base that's going to be made of plywood scaffold. The method that we're going to use is called pitching. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to weave together tree branches to form living archways. The trunks of the trees will be used as load-bearing structures, and the branches will be forming a continuous lattice to form the walls and the roof. As you can see on the screen, this is design scaffolds to increase the control, depth, and accuracy of this building method. So yeah, if we bring ourselves to the future 60 years time, this is what we hope for the world to look like. For us to be able to live in our own homes that we build ourselves, and for the environment to look like this. Alright, our target market. Basically who we are targeting is average income family, a small size family for about 3 to 5 members, and people primarily living in the warm climate countries. Based on the demographic, this is suitable for 85% of people worldwide who do not live on large income, the average income families. Lastly, how this house will benefit us in the world. It is composed of 100% living nutrients. It is effective contributions to the ecosystem, and it has accountable reductions to the human impacts of the world. It involves arboreal farming, subsea technology, circulates water and metabolic flows symbiotically, and continuous life cycle from use to disposal. Alright, that's it. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, just one question. Actually, I didn't see any funding there, but I'm sure one of the judges will ask you about funding, right? I would take it that your product, what's your product? What are you selling? Are you selling ready-built?
We are actually trying to get funds to allow us to research further on this. But basically what we do is after we have funds to research on this, we want to be able to build these houses. So you want to be like construction kind of.
So you will be builders?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll be building these houses?
Yes.
All right, Daniel, very good job, very clear. We have an idea of what these houses look like now. Now, the question is, let's say when you propose such a project, right? First off, it's going to be people with strong investments that would actually be interested in what you're proposing. Now, rich people look for big houses, and what I see is size small. How do you convince them?
Well, we are definitely going to target the philanthropists, people who are actually who can work basically. These houses, we are trying to build them in the third world countries, or I not be able to do it. So we do not specifically design this house for the people, the rich people to live in. We kind of want to convince them to be able to fund our research so that the average income. So basically, we're gonna try and focus on people who do charity work and all these things. Rich people who do charity work. So it's not really designed for the rich people.
And anything about the size of these houses, roughly? Do you have any?
Well, for now, we're definitely targeting to be small, but I think once we do extensive research for us to be able to build bigger houses, maybe then we can focus on building houses.
Is that even a possibility when it's
Yes,
a street house?
that is a possibility, but we definitely can work on our research because we do not have that.
Thank you.
How long it takes to build a house?
According to the research we do now, it takes about 2 years. 2 complete years for the house branches to be built. But that is using wooden plants that are soft and grow easily, and also there's a solution that is supposed to be in and all that. But again, we are still trying to research on that. So the concept is there, but we haven't been able to show a product yet because of the lack of funds for our research. But yeah, basically it's more like 2 years.
Okay, overall comment. This topic has been presented, I think, 2 or 3 times. But I would say this: the clarity of which you explain how the house is constructed is very, very good. So well done to your team, right? It's really the way that you should explain something, right? Target market, again, I'm neither here nor there. There seems to be the challenge for you to match the wealth of the people investing and the people who are actually going to be living in the houses. I suppose it's not out of the question that the money people will be wanting to do charity work to build these houses for the less income. But that's something that will really challenge you, because the question is, how many people in this world are going to partner their money to build 3 houses for the poor? Because there are already so many projects and so many initiatives, and people are not lining up to build houses for the poor. That's what I'm saying, right? So one of the concerns that I would have if I listen to that target market is I would need to convince myself today, millions of people need housing. Do you see philanthropists lining up to build houses for them? No. And the question then would be, so why would they in your case? I'm not saying it's a yes or no, you have to give them a reason. And if you presented that and say, yes, I know that there are millions of people with no homes and nobody's financing it, but with our project, let me tell you why they would. That's on a different planet in terms of presentation quality. Right? Otherwise, you just take the easy way out, go create these houses that just have the cool factor, and even though it's small, everybody would want one, even though they have a mansion to stay in. So it becomes a holiday home. You could arguably integrate these houses in national parks where you cannot build houses, and you get to a very very strong marketing branding point of view, and I'm just sharing this with you, where the really rich people say, yeah, I would love to build my 30,000 square foot mansion in the national park, but I can't because I'm not allowed to. But what I can buy is a 900 square feet tree house, and I'm going to do that. Then you have a completely different level of marketing. But again, clarity-wise, I think it was very good from the master company. Yeah? Okay, well done.